appetizers. Some of y'all like to choose chips and salsa, chips and queso, maybe even mozzarella sticks. My favorite thing, personally, is guacamole. I guess being in a Hispanic and Mexican household, that's pretty much all we eat. You got avocados in every meal possible, pretty much. Today, I'm gonna be showing you how to make guacamole. This isn't, you know, the right official way, but this is how I like to do it. First of all, I like to get ripe avocados, which I think you should get ripe avocados, but your choice again. I like to cut them, twist it open. I like to get the seed, just take that out. Then I get my fork. You can also use a spoon, but I like to use the fork, and I just throw that in there. And today I'm going to be using 4. So I'm going to go back, get another one, and just repeat this process until, you know, as many times as you want, pretty much. So take that. Again, same thing. When choosing avocados, not like a lot of people, I tend to get the ones that are, you know, if you squeeze it, it's gonna like, you know, be kind of squishy. Not too hard, but not too squishy either. I like to get them to where they're like, just, I guess, in between. Some people prefer their guac to be chunky, which I do too, but then again others prefer it to be more smoother. But today I'm going to be doing a chunky one. Okay, once you're done with that, move these to the side. I like to put in my onions. And again, I like to cut the onion, I like to stand it up, cut it in half vertically, and then use that other half and just cut it in like little squares. I don't like to use long pieces, but then again I don't like to use the little small pieces because the onion is what gives it the flavor. You know, you want flavor. That's pretty much what this is. Anyways, don't forget whenever you're cutting your onion to peel the skin off. That's very important. I like to peel the skin off. And you should have some pieces that look like this. They're like, again, they're not too big, they're not too small. I like to just throw that in there. And then you can mix it if you want to. You can also just wait till the end and mix it all together. Then, I like to go with tomatoes. And the same thing, you're going to do the same thing to tomato, what you do to the onion, but instead of going vertically, I like to go sideways, horizontally, and that just makes it so much easier for me, and maybe to y'all as well. I like to throw this in here. This really gives it a lot of flavor too. We mix it up again, and then cilantro. This is also like a very important ingredient, and especially in Mexican dishes, because it's what gives it the flavor as well. It's like, that's what like lights up like the whole meal. I like to get this, I like to just, you know, grab a little bit, not even a handful. I just like to get a little bit, cut it up, and then I just get, again, not a handful, just a little bit. Roll it up and just cut it in little pieces. The cilantro, I suggest you cutting off the stem, because although it's edible, it's kind of hard to eat. Like, it's kind of tough. So I just like to just cut that off, and I like to use the leaves. Then I'm gonna put that in there. Again, mix it up. Lastly, these few steps, they're not necessary, but this is, again, what I like to use in my pot. These are some chili peppers. I like to cut the end off because it's like, that's where the stem was, and I don't like to use them. I like to cut them in little circles. I don't like to cut them huge but I wouldn't necessarily put jalapeno peppers in there. I would just put those in there. Then I will go with the lime. A trick you can use is, if you don't want your avocado to like turn brown and it turns into that nasty thing, you can throw some lime in there and it'll like absorb it, and it'll help the avocado not turn brown. I like to just use one, not too much. And then this, I like to add some salt to it. You can, again, this isn't necessary, but this is the way I like to do it. And I just like all the flavors it has to it. It's okay, because the more the better, right? You just mix it around. The salt pretty much disappears. So I always add that. So anyways, you just keep mixing. You keep mixing until you think you're good. Now, the best part. Have a plate right here. And my favorite type of chips, Hulu. If you've never eaten a Hulu chip, I recommend it. Like, 100%.
Where do they make them? Where do they make them?
They have a Julio's restaurant in Del Rio. And guess where I go every time I go. And now, that is how I make my guacamole. And hopefully, y'all could follow these steps and make it as well.